Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video we are going to be setting up my new journal and planning out my reading journal. As usual, gotta have a quick snack. I am going with a chocolate chip cookie from Crumble. Highly recommend if there's one in your area. And then since it's spooky season, I thought I would light up my perfect pumpkin candle to fit the vibe that I'm trying to plan out for October. So first off, let's just do a quick flip through of my previous reading journal. A few of these spreads I will still be utilizing even though I'm moving to a new journal. Mostly this graph one, as well as these bookshelves that I keep updated for all the books I finish for the year. And then let's just do a quick flip through of all of the completed spreads from September. I started using this as my personal journal as well. I'm just gonna flip through those last few pages, but it worked out pretty well and I'm excited to be combining the two into this new one. I have no idea what kind of a journal this is. I'm fairly certain I got it as a gift, possibly from Hallmark at one point, and it has a cute little quote at the beginning, but I decided I wanted to write my own reading-based quote to start this off. Quote is, "I was born with a reading list I will never finish," by 𝗖cie. And honestly, I just wanted to take the time to be a little creative with this. I stuck with a pretty simple color scheme of a black, gray, and silver. Turned out pretty great. Next up, since this is going to be a type of a bullet journal, I'll have to have a key, of course. And then the page next to that is for grid spacing. I did everything out in pencil and I just really was not feeling going over it all in pen. So I just did the title in pen, and I'm sorry, that's about the only part you can actually see. Onto this next page, which is a new kind of spread that I've never done before, but I thought this might be a fun idea to keep track of all of the books that I'm bringing in and taking out. So the first page is made to look kind of like a library cart, and this is going to be all of the books that I haul. I will fill them in, and then the opposite side is made to look like a little free library. And so for this one, it'll be all of the books that I unhaul throughout the time that I'm in this journal. I don't know how often I'll keep up with this. I honestly have no idea if I'll end up needing to make another one of these spreads in the near future, but I just thought this might be a fun thing to keep track of moving forward. Okay, and now that I've completed the basic journal spreads, let's hop right into October. I just wanted to do this cute little cartoony ghost, and it says Boo and Stuff, which is an idea I got from a wallpaper I used to have on my phone forever ago and thought I'd redo. Then the font that I went with for October was the spooky American Horror Story kind. For the rest of my title page, it's all in black and white, has a little spider web, and then finally a gravestone. Onto this next page, which is going to be my calendar layout, sticking with the same creepy theme, have another little spider web, and then the American Horror Story font once again, plus a little potion. So just gonna fill in a few important dates from my calendar, including Stabathon, which is running from the 4th to the 10th. I did not mark the fact that Spooktober is taking place all month, but that is another readathon I'll also be partaking in. And then to label the day of Halloween, I did a little candy corn around the number. Next is my reading goals for the month. You might have got a little peek at this in my October TBR. I'll put a link to that video in the cards up above if you're interested in checking out all of the stuff I'm reading. First up is my nonfiction book, and that's going to be Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty. Following that is my diverse read, and that's going to be Dead Dead Girls by 𝗖cie heç𝘁𝘁. Next is my backlisted book, and that's The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. Then my YA read, which is Mayhem by Estelle Lohr. And then finally my adult book, which is The 𝗖cie by Erin Sterling. Then next up, of course, I have to have my book clubs. Not sure what the buy book's going to be yet. The one for my personal book club with my friends is Mayhem by Estelle Lohr. For the Fantaseries, we are starting out the Villain's Duology with Vicious. For Lights Out, The Last House on Needless Street by Catriona Ward. And then finally, for the Sugar and Spice book club is The 𝗖cie by Erin Sterling. This last little section is 2 books that I am going to be reading for 2 separate videos. So the first is Final Girl Support Group and Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. Then Night Film by Marisha Pessel and The Bone Houses by Emily Lloyd Jones. I did a witchy looking candle and a little pumpkin down in the corner just to match with the theme. Next up is going to be my Pages Read spread, and this is pretty simple. I have a little crystal ball in one corner and a ghost in the other. At one point you can tell that it takes me quite a while to remember how I laid out the numbers at the bottom. I couldn't remember if I stuck with my usual 6 or if I jumped it to 10. And then I finally remembered that I made it so that each of the dashes was for 20 pages. Of course, have to have my brain dump. I'm only gonna do 1 page this month, and then I have a few spiders and some more pumpkins. This next one is my favorite lines, and I didn't really want to take up too much of the middle section, so I used some washi tape and then a few of the creepy eye stickers. Now let's jump into the pages for my actual book spreads. This first one's going to be for the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, and I'm sure you can figure out where I got this drawing from if you see the cover. I had to stick with the peaches. I didn't do the little vampire bite marks. I wish I had it. That would have been very clever and cute, but you know, I just didn't have faith in my drawing abilities. On the opposite side is the Final Girls support group, also a simple folding red chair. I think you can figure it out if you look at the cover as well. I have already started on the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, so I will take the time to fill in some of my notes that I had previously put in my last journal. These next two are going to be for the readathons I'm partaking in. So first up we have a stabathon, and since every prompt is based on a different horror movie, I decided to go with the bloody knife from Scream, and then in the bottom I have a little Jason mask from Friday the 13th. Very cute. I'm pretty proud of this one, and then since it's all circle based on the bingo card that they have, I just used one of my washi tapes to lay out some circles in a bingo formation. I'm not going to go through all of the prompts for this readathon, but I will be reading Mayhem by Estelle Lord, Will My Cat Eat My Eyeballs by Caitlin Doughty, and then Night of the Mannequins by Stephen Graham Jones. This next one's for Spooktober, and I realized I didn't say all the information for these readathons will be in the description down below if you're interested. Spooktober is lasting all month and there are 6 prompts. This one was a little more simple because they didn't actually have a bingo board, it was more just a list of prompts. So I did some more doodles with a little bat and a baby ghost. Then I just wrote out all of the prompts in the books I'll be reading. For this one, I'm going to be reading Vicious by 𝗖cie Schwab, Dead Dead Girls by Nikiza Afia, The Ex-Hex by Aaron Sterling, The Last House on Needless Street by Catch Me on a Word, and then finally, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. The color that they had on their little graphic with all of the prompts was purple and orange, so I used my purple and orange spooky washi tape at the bottom. Okay, and then finally we have my wrap-up page, and for this one I did a little crescent moon and some stars, and then in the opposite corner I did a witch's broom. Obviously you can tell, since I did a fair amount of doodling this month for me, I was really just so excited for Halloween and October to finally be here and just put in all of these spooky vibes throughout my journal, and I think it all turned out really well. Then on the opposite side, starting out my journal spreads for each day of the month, just October 1st, and one little to-do that I wanted to try and get done on that day, plus some available space if I want to fill anything in later. Alright, so that is it for the planning, but let's do one final flip through. All right, y'all, as always, thank you so much for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!